Yo, what's up guys, my name is Kiro SA and I'm back again with another sample. Before I start, you already know it's advert time. Food for the Soul Volume 3 is out. It's a sample pack with 10 neo soul samples. And I also have a free sample pack titled The Beauty of Life. If you love samples like I do, I suggest you click on the links in the description of this video. And now let's get back to what you came here for. So I started this sample by using a piano from Spitfire Labs, as well as another piano from Piano Tech. And before I break down the chord progression, this is how it sounds like. And so I'm using two chords, which is the 4 chord going to the 1 chord, and in this case it's a A minor 11 chord going into a E minor 11 chord. And how I made it is I first started with the root as well as the 3rd and 7th of the A minor chord. I then added the 9th, and the 11th I played it between the 3rd and the 7th. I then also doubled the root note, and for the 2nd chord it's the same voicing. I essentially doubled the 1st chord and moved it down 5 semitones, and that makes it a E minor 11 chord. After that I added a E piano from Lounge Lizard, and it sounds like this. And so with the E piano, I wanted it to sound like sprinkles. So my approach was to use the same chords, but instead of playing it the whole entire bar, I played it normal for half the bar, and the next bar I moved it up an octave and made sure the notes are strummed. I then added a melody played by a saxophone from TSK, as well as a horn from Sinful Orchestra, and this is how it sounds like. After that I added a horn from Sinful Orchestra, which plays the harmony, and I also added a violin from SRX Orchestra, which also plays the same harmony. And before I play it, I just want to break down harmony. And the reason I want to break it down is because I struggled with it for the longest of times, and hopefully if there's someone out there who's also struggling with it, maybe I might help them. So I would ask my teacher what harmony is, and he basically told me it's taking a melody and adding notes which are complementary. For example, a chord And yes, I do agree, that's the truth, but at that time I still found it hard to grasp the whole concept of a harmony. And so it didn't stick for me until I started to look at harmony in a different way. And that way is simply to look at harmony as intervals. And if you don't know what an interval is, well, the definition is it's the measure of the distance in pitch between two notes. And I'll put the interval chart on the screen for you to understand what I am talking about. And in fact, let me just show you practically. So let's pretend the note C is a quote unquote melody. So if I add the note E, which is the major third interval of the note C, it becomes a harmony, which sounds like this. And if I take the same E note and I take it down half a step to the note D sharp, it now becomes a minor third interval of the note C, and it sounds like this. And basically, ta-da, that's harmony right there. It's the whole concept is basically you should play with the intervals, and there's a lot of intervals. So I hope if you didn't understand harmony, you now do, or you have a clue as to what harmony is. And for this sample in particular, I harmonized with the major third as well as the perfect fourth, and it sounds like this. And I know on its own it definitely does sound weird, but let's play the sample with everything except for the harmony, and you will hear what I'm talking about. And now the sample sounds like this. And now let's play the whole sample again with the harmony included, and now it sounds like this. And from this example, well, what I heard is that with the harmony, the sample becomes much more fuller and it's more interesting that way. And so if you didn't get the point, that's the point I was trying to show. But yeah, and after that I added another horn from Sinful Orchestra, which plays the same melody but higher in octave. I also added a cello from SRX Orchestra, as well as a bass from Morphine, and together it sounds like this. And after that, the last instruments that I added is an accent to the main melody, and the instruments are a spiccato string from SRX Orchestra, as well as a trumpet from Expand, and together it sounds like this. And for the master bass, I added a NLS bass to saturate the sample. I also added a Pro L2 to boost the volume, And let me play you the final sample, and the final sample sounds like this. And that's the full breakdown of the sample. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. And please don't forget Food for the Soul Volume 3, as well as the Beauty of Life sample pack. The links are in the description of this video. And with that said, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you 2 weeks from now. Thank you.